Welcome to another Going Beyond the Scale. If you are new to these episodes and you're new to the group, let me explain a little bit about what we're trying to create here. So the title Going Beyond the Scale is really the idea of starting to really think about your health and well-being besides what you weigh on a bathroom scale. If you're somebody in your life that grew up with being on a diet or you need to lose weight or whatever, maybe grew up in the Weight Watchers world where many of us that have had challenges with our weight, that's kind of the measure in which we based our value, quite frankly, whether we were being successful, whether we were healthy. And the bathroom scale was like looming large in all of our lives and minds, and it still does for millions and millions and millions of people. So it might seem a little bit strange being somebody that was a contestant on NBC's Biggest Loser over 10 years ago, where, quite frankly, each week, my daughter Jennifer and I, our being on the show was, dependent on whether or not we did well on that particular scale. One of the things that a lot of people don't really realize, it wasn't just the weight, it was the percentage of weight loss that we had. Now, the challenge with that still depends on your hydration, depends on how much muscle you're losing, how much body fat you're losing. So we all have this strange kind of an idea in our mind about like what we should be size-wise, whatever. Some of it's by society, a lot of it is because of our family, a lot of it's just it's crazy, it's chaotic. So a lot of what you'll hear me talk about, and a lot of what I've spent my life towards doing, and also what I've been doing the past 10 years since Biggest Loser, is I've been really traversing and trafficking in the world of my thinking and others' thinking about their health and well-being. Yes, I do things that have to do with their size and their shape and their weight, but I've really shifted much of everything I'm doing to thought, spending lots of time on thought. Now, here's where I'm going to sound like I'm being a hypocrite. I call this going beyond the scale because I think it's really powerful when you start to move beyond having whatever that measurement is. If you're somebody that's wanting to measure something, own you. What I think of it is I want you to move beyond it's slaying you. I want it to serve you. I also have a different kind of a philosophy, at least my particular philosophy on body positivity. I believe in body positivity, but from how I believe in it is not that no matter what you size or shape or where you are, that you should just feel positive about yourself. That's great, nice idea. But let's face it, as long as we're human beings and we're living on this earth, depending on how we take care of ourselves, depending on our well-being, you might feel positive about where you're at and that nobody can define you by what you look like. But your body and your chemistry and your whole way of being is affected by your measurements. Now, what I really mean by measurement matters is I'm going to continue. This is just kind of a conversation to open up the conversation and the thought process, because over the next few weeks, next few months, I am going to be coming back and talking about some very specific things, things that I have experienced myself, things that I am a student of, things that I'm learning about, for you to look at as possible things that you may want to consider using as a way to measure, to serve you if there's something that you're looking to do. Now, you could say, well, I have no interest in that. It doesn't define me. I don't care what my measurements are. Well, let's put it this way. If you have a medical event and you go to the hospital, I'm going to tell you what, they are going to measure stuff because they're going to want to know what your blood pressure is. They're going to want to know what your sugar level is. They're going to want to know all kinds of things. That's just the way it's going to work. Unless you just like, I could care less and don't worry and I don't want to live or whatever. So measurement matters. Numbers matter. Take it another way. If it's not a medical thing and you were like, well, I don't really care. Well, here's the thing. I bet if you have a job and you make money and you have a bank account, numbers matter, measurement matters. You care what's in your bank account. It's how we live. Unless you're living in la la land, good, bad, or different, even if you're not quote unquote a numbers person, I don't think of myself as being a numbers person. If you go back and you really just think about every single thing in your life is affected by numbers. You hop on a friggin' plane. Do you want the guy flying the plane to not have any? I don't really care. The dials on this plane don't affect me. They don't define how I'm flying the plane. That's bullshit. I mean, that's crazy talk. That's the part where I think you don't have to become a slave to others' opinions, but you don't want to really fool yourself, because as we live on this earth as human beings, numbers matter in every area of our life, where we live, in the buildings, laws, every single thing in our life. And where I'm most concerned about it is looking for people that are willing to have a constructive conversation around learning about their numbers and whatever they are, so that they can serve them. And what I say is that really numbers are not good or bad, but they give us a baseline to work from. And what I'm looking for when I'm navigating and supporting somebody, I'm not trying to share with them if their numbers are quote unquote bad or going the wrong direction. I'm looking for a way for them to, are the things that they're doing making them feel in a way that they feel better? They're moving forward in a way that serves them. To me, that's what body positivity should be about. Should be about metabolically, medically, mentally, those 3 M's, to really start to feel good about where you're going with how you feel, the level of energy that you have, the level of enthusiasm for life that you have, the level of excitement that you have. That's being positive to me. And that's where I'm going to, like I said, I will come back in here at different times talking about metabolism. I'll be talking about body composition. I'll be talking about other forms of measurement to consider. Not that you have to, but there are things that I think that if you get your head screwed on right, you will find that they won't make you feel uncomfortable. A lot of the way that most of us that have been challenged with, what we thought about ourselves, size-wise, shape-wise, weight-wise, whatever we're going to call it, we have a lot of baggage from past ways of being brought up in environments and social issues and things like that we're still carrying around. I think we can throw a lot of that away, come from a blank slate, start a new conversation, have a new conversation with other people in our lives, friends, family. And I think that there will become a tipping point. And I think it's already there, because there's a lot of cool things that are out there. And I think there's more of a inclusion that we don't have to have a couple of body shapes and sizes and weights and measurements to really be fit, because there's a lot of people, all different sizes, that are very fit. So I'm not talking about a specific number, or that you'll be better when you have these XYZ numbers. But I am saying that there is more room, quite frankly, for all of us to be more open to thinking about our well-being and thinking about measurement that serves us versus slaying us. So that's my long-winded diatribe about measurement matters. I really do believe it matters. And I think we can all have a more positive conversation about that. I look forward to hearing your thoughts about it. Whether this, pissed you off and you don't like what I'm about to say, let me know, fine. If it's something that's starting to open up a new way of thinking for you, I'd love to hear that as well. So thank you as always for your generosity, for being here. Thank you for continuing to grow this community. Especially, I want to thank everybody that's in here, that's been here and has been supporting each other. That's what makes a major difference. Those are the things of what I really believe going beyond the scale is about. It's about being open and honest and being in a communication conversation with others so that they feel like they're heard and they're starting to think about what they could do for themselves in a way that serves them. So anyway, thanks for today. I will be back tomorrow with another piece of food for thought and see if it's something that will stir up something for you that will serve you in your well-being journey. So thanks again. I'll see you guys tomorrow.